Alright, that Love Clark here, and we're gonna get extra sweaty right now, okay? Alright, I had an idea, and it started into another idea, and this is how comic book ideas come about, okay? I'm gonna pitch this idea to you, Marvel, and you do whatever you want with it, I don't care, okay? Just like a little bit of credit for it, okay? Or not, whatever. Anyway, you got, instead of the X-Men, okay, well, you got a conspiracy, okay? You got Charles Xavier, Magneto, had both, before Cyclops and Jean and all those guys got together, that team, Magneto and Charles had made an X-Men before this team. Okay, and this is the reason why Magneto and Charles are so angry at each other by the time the X-Men come around. Because they had a team before that. Okay, they had students, okay? Now, the reason why you say, how did they had students? There was only one X-Men. Well, not when there's the Y-Men, okay? The Y-Men? That doesn't even make sense. There's an X chromosome. That's why they have X powers. And there's Xavier, and his name's X, so we call them X-Men, and they have extra powers. Okay, there's all those extraordinary reasons why. They use the X, okay, in the X-Men, okay? But I'm proposing a different one. Okay, what happened was, the Y-Men was a group that Charles and Eric form, okay, and what they do is they have a Y symbol, right? They use a Y symbol, but that's not the thing. It's they go around questioning because they're seeing the mutant phenomenon. They're questioning, why is this happening? Why, right? So they put together a team of mutants called the Y-Men, and the Y-Men go around the world trying to figure out why there's mutants. Why? See? But they use a symbol. Okay, get it? A Y. Okay? Instead of the word Y. It's a letter Y. They use a Y symbol. So the Y-Men. And the Y-Men go around the world, and what ends up happening is, as they uncover the reason why there's all mutants, multiple mutants appearing around the world, and has been, is because there's conspiracies involved in it, and there's certain reasons like pollution and certain things and experiments going on, not on people directly, but these are indirect results of man, let's say, of man and nature at some point. It's a combination of both. But they find out that there's conspiracy behind some of it, a lot of it. And they start unraveling stuff that the government doesn't want nobody to know about. And them working on mutants, experimenting on mutants. And the Y-Men were more ragtag illegals, because they would go and break into different places, installations and stuff, right? To get information, to find things out, to lead ups, follow up leads and things, okay? Because it was a young group, and Xavier and Magneto didn't know what they're doing. With that kind of power, they could almost do anything, break in any installation possible, okay? And especially with the team. So they formed this other great, awesome, great group of characters, okay? And you can make this, the Y-Men went on for years, okay, maybe. The reason why, how come we never heard? Why doesn't Magneto talk about it? How come Xavier don't ever talk about it? All these questions are coming up now about the Y-Men, all of a sudden. And so the Y-Men try to find out why the X-Men is all about dealing with mutants and finding mutants that have powers. The Y-Men are acknowledge that mutants has powers, but the Y-Men are one to want to know why. And you look into all the reasons why. Okay? So that's what the Y-Men do. And I think what happens is you build about 2 or 3. What you do is you let it build up. Okay? You don't reveal all this right away. The reason why yet behind the Y-Men. Or you do. However you want to do it, but I think the reason I'd like to see happen is the Y-Men, you do it for about these characters that take place in the 50s, see, you know, but you do it about 2 or 3 years, okay, so about what, 12, 14, 24, maybe 24 issues in, okay, or 48, no, 24 issues, about 24, yeah, about 48 issues, give us 48 issues, okay. 48 issues in, okay guys, and then guess what you do with these great characters? They die. Oh yes, they die. The whole team is killed, and it's because of an irresponsible Charles Xavier. And Magneto's telling him, no, don't do this, Charles, and Magneto's right in this case, and Charles the wrong one, and Charles doesn't follow Magneto's lead, and takes the group in his own hands, and unfortunately they all die. And this is the reason why Magneto is the way he is. And this is why Charles is the way he is. Why Charles goes to such extremes, and why Magneto really goes to such extremes. But the sad thing is, that dirty bastard Xavier, with his mind tricks, he has the ability to mind wipe. So he's wiped this from everybody's memory that it happened to. Anyone that possibly remembered it, including Magneto. So even Eric doesn't know this happened to him. He thinks that they just had a fun time, you know, whatever, when they were friends. Who knows? You know, you fill in the blank, you know. You want me to add the rest up, but I'm not going to. But you could do this and make this interesting story, a tragic story, a sad story, and yet again, another foul on the professor. But it would also be a lesson story, you know, another lesson story, and I think it'd be a wonderful lesson taught in that we learn that the professor is really the way he is, and he's always kept it hidden because he didn't want the first team never to trust him, because if he said he had other teammates and they got killed, and, well, how'd they die? And, well, Magneto told me not to do something, and I did it anyway, and they all got killed in a senseless way. I don't think they would have trusted him as much, maybe. So he thought, he thought that, which would be anyone's natural thought. And the reason why he calls them the X-Men is another reason, because X is the answer where you fill in the blank, like a fill in the blank answer. So X-Men, okay. His answer to the Y-Men was to make the X-Men, because the X-Men is the answer, okay, to the why question is the answers. There just is mutants, okay, and focusing just on mutants and not the reason why, but the answer with the X fills in the blank, okay, get it? So maybe somebody at Marvel, maybe I don't know who, maybe I just write my stories myself and just stick to my own little X-Men Pocket Universe in my garage where I make my own comic books, and you guys will never hear about these fascinating X-Men stories I make at home. So, unless you guys want more, let me know. You know, I mean, but we got to come to some discussions, and let's just try this idea out first. All right. So, pretty easy to contact through my YouTube channel. Okay. It's at Love Clark, and hopefully you're watching this, Marvel or somebody doing X-Men comics or movies. Sorry, or somebody. Yeah, not trained professionals, but I'll tell you what, we got the good ideas here, and it's just I've got a batch of ideas. It's called the House Ideas. I've got a whole gazillion tons of ideas for you, and I know the way the Marvel standard is. I know what Stan Lee likes. I know what all of them like. I know what it. So I'm dedicated to, you know, the Marvel and X-Men, but you know, let's work together. I'd love to help. I've got all these great ideas, you know. Maybe you think it's a dumb idea. A lot of you guys are scratching your heads, and probably some of you are already ripping apart pieces of it and saying, yeah, you can use this part, you can't use this part. Here, you can't use that part, you can use this part, let's twist this part, or maybe none of it, you know. If anything, I'll just be thrilled if you guys are just dissecting it, or even considering it. Alright, so, love you. It's at Love Clark, and hopefully you guys check this out so you can enjoy some new ideas from the Y Man.